Hello, welcome again. Tonight, it is a testimony Friday. Yes, and this is Couples Will Show. You know how we do it. This is where we write down our love while we are alive. For we don't want our love story to be read when we are 6 feet under. We don't want our love story to be read when we are gone. And this can only be found on Wema Tv, the voice of hope. My name is Willie Kinyash. And tonight, it's gonna be fire as we listen to a powerful testimony. Utapenda. And tonight, as we share this testimony, we want to say, mental illness broke my marriage. And I have an amazing guest. Yes, her name is Jacqueline Kagu. She is a mental health advocate and she's here to share with us her story. Karibu sana Jackie.
Asante sana.
Gota
Kabisa.
Thank you for coming.
Pleasure to be your guest.
Yes, yeah. Coming all the way from Karatina.
Yeah.
You feel honored.
I am also feeling humbled.
Yeah. Why is Karatina?
Karatina is it's cold.
Mm-hmm. It's cold.
Yeah.
Wow. Karibu sana.
Asante.
You can introduce yourself to our viewers.
My name is Jacqueline Ruguru Kago. He did not say the Ruguru part. And I am a mental health advocate. I also work at a university called Karatina University. And I'm a mother of 2 boys. And apart from that, I'm a born-again Christian.
Man.
Yeah.
Tonight we want to talk about mental illness.
Yeah.
So to start with, what is mental illness?
Basically, mental illness is something that is something that affects your brain that you're not able to function normally, like any other person. Yes.
Okay.
It can interact with your normal duties, everyday life. Yeah.
Okay. Are there different types of mental illnesses?
Yeah, we have different type of mental illnesses. So we have bipolar disorder 1, bipolar disorder 2. We also have schizophrenia. We have anxiety. We have depression.
What is bipolar disorder 1, 2? What is that?
Bipolar disorder 1 is where the manic and the depression are prolonged. And bipolar 2, they are not that severe. And then schizophrenia are those people that hear voices. Someone telling you, I can hear someone telling me this, they're telling me to run. Then you have depression. I know you've heard many people saying they're depressed, somebody's just low. And then we have anxiety, someone just anxious. They're just having anxiety, they can't walk on the highway, they can't get out of their houses. Yeah.
Are mental illnesses like just any other disease?
It's just like any other disease, just that some are long-term. You will stay with them for the rest of your life, and others, they go away. Yeah.
So what causes mental illness?
Mental illness can be brought about by environmental factors, and you can also have been born with it by genes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you have gone through this, and you told me that your marriage broke because of mental illness. Maybe you can share your story with us.
I can say partly my marriage broke because I had an undiagnosed mental condition. Because currently I'm diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1, the one that I've told you is prolonged depression, and you can also have manic. So I got married when I was, I think, 21 years of age, and the marriage was good when it began. But when I got my first child, my moods started changing. I could be agitated so easily. I could have outbursts. So imagining a woman having outbursts towards a man. So definitely that man will be violent. And so it led to a very violent marriage. And it drove me to depression, where I could not come out and tell people what is happening. So I stayed in that marriage, not being happy, until 2011, when I decided enough is enough. All that time I had not been diagnosed. When I decided enough is enough, and I decided to separate. Both of us decided to separate. It is after we separated that I realized that I had a mental condition because I went for spending sprees.
What happens?
You spend a lot of money for nothing. I remember I took a loan of 500,000. Within a week it was done.
What did you do with that money?
I gave someone 50,000 Kenya shillings. I know she's watching. Found her in the streets. Gave her 50,000 Kenya shillings. I took my friends for parties and buy them drinks and nyamachomas. I traveled to places I've never traveled before. All this time I had 2 kids, and I was behaving like I'm not a mom. I don't care what they eat.
So where were they?
Since we had separated with my ex-husband, they had stayed with his mom. And I lived a life like I did not have those kids. Yeah. Which is a very sad scenario, but I think I was suffering from that, knowing myself, coming to be diagnosed to have bipolar disorder. And by the time I was coming to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder, something you don't know, I was rescued. Me and my kids were rescued because I wanted to commit suicide. No, I had planned to kill them and commit suicide. So we were rescued and I was taken to a mental institution. Yeah.
Who rescued you?
A friend of mine. Her name is Irene Kipkolum. I just, during that depression phase, I missed work. I stopped going to work. So I had abscond duty for a week. My employer did not know where I was. I had not paid my rent. So my landlord is also looking for me. And I remember I went to a hotel. I called a friend of mine. His name is Tan. I called him. I told him, I know your hotel has a room. I need a room in your hotel. I don't have money. I will pay you. End month, I need a room for me and my sons. And I went to an agrovet and I bought ratatat. I put them in water. My sons normally they wake up and drink water. So I wanted them to drink the water. They die. And then I commit suicide. But let's say God is works in a divine way. Because during that phase, I happened to go to the toilet in that hotel. And a friend of mine called Irene, called my son. And he described...
Through your phone?
Yes. So my son picked my phone. He rarely picks somebody else's phone, but that one he picked. And he described where we were. Because now people were looking for me. And he said, no, we are somewhere I can see a Catholic church, a petrol station. So they got to know where exactly I was. So they came where we were. And they found us seated, now almost drinking the water. And we were rescued. And my employer gave me 2 options. Because you have abscond duty, you either get fired, but Jacqueline, you can clearly see you have a problem, so you accept to go to a rehabilitation, or we fire you. So I went to a rehabilitation, not because I wanted.
All this time you still working with Karatina University?
Yes, I was a staff at Karatina University. So I went to a rehab as a day scholar.
Where?
It's Midiva Center. It's in Thika. I went to Midiva Center, a place called Githingiri in Thika. And they told me to be an inpatient and I refused. You see, when you're told you're crazy or you're told, you know what, I want you to see a counselor, you are like, a counselor for what? I'm okay, I'm fine. And I told them, if you want me to see a counselor, I'll become a day scholar. So we made an arrangement because my home is just in Thika. I can be coming from Thika to Midiva and having my sessions at a specific time. And so I would go at a specific time, but not be so keen about it because I'm not going there by will. But by will, I will go with time because I remember my mom sent me to Nairobi to pick her some medication, and I found that there were no those medication, and I was so angry. So when I reached home late because my mom had really annoyed me. And the transport she had given me, I had eaten it all. So when I reached home, it was around 9, late at night. And she was still angry because I sent you very early, you're coming to my house late night. So she quarreled me. And I remember at that time she was quarreling me. I wanted to kill her. And my head was like, today is the day I will kill my mom. And there was a wreck somewhere. So I had the intention of taking it and hacking her to death. But I don't know what came over me. I just walked out. And I walked from Landless all the way to Medieval Center, which is around the Del Monte area where Kennel, where people buy Del Monte juice. I walked all the way there and I admitted myself now. Before I was an outpatient.
Yeah.
But I took myself to Medieval and I told them, I need to be an inpatient. The way I'm feeling, the anger I was crying, I was just hysterical. And they had to admit me. And they admitted me. They stayed there for roughly 2.5 months. And with injections, detoxification. Because apart from it, I was still in my marriage, I was doing bangi, I was drinking. So when you combine that with mental health, it doesn't go very well. So I stayed in a rehab. I was detoxificated, and put on medication until I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder 1. Because you have to stay in a mental institution for a while so that they can tell you whether you have anxiety, depression. They get to know your history, where you come from. Does your father have this? Your mother have this? Your great-grandfather? And then they told me I have the bipolar disorder 1. Yeah, so I roughly tell people, if I knew I had bipolar disorder 1 during my marriage, or if my then husband knew I had a mental condition, things could have been different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe how can one be able to know that your spouse is going through or is having this mental illness? Because maybe there are people who are watching us,
yes,
and maybe this couple doesn't know your husband or your wife is going through some issues. How are you able to know that your spouse is having mental illness?
It's easy to know, and it's also difficult to know. But there's those signs that are outright, like when someone's mood changes drastically. Like you could be sitting down with your husband and you're having a normal conversation, and he just shouts from nowhere. He's just getting angry over small things. Maybe it's a spill of water, chakula imeungua, and they quarrel you, it becomes something very big. Or all of a sudden, your husband was not violent. And from nowhere, he started slapping you. He's coming home slapping you. Or he's drinking a lot. They sleep a lot. The things they used to love most, they stop. They stop having interest. Let's say your husband or your wife works. So you normally wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work. Hamki, they don't wake up. Some don't even take showers. They don't shower. I have most of my people who come for help from me. They call me, you know what, my husband has not showered for 2 days. My wife has not showered. She's not cooking. The utensils are in the sink. The house is dirty. The kids are dirty. My wife has changed. So such signs are signs that are there, and you should look out for those signs. Yeah.
Didn't your then husband see all these signs?
I believed he saw all those signs, but in our culture, we tend not to see it as a mental condition. We see it as arrogance. As arrogance. Like, you're a man, I have provided for you, I'm doing everything. Yes, the house is not clean, blah, blah, you're not doing this. It's arrogance. And now someone with a mental condition, for example, bipolar, we have a lot of, when we are at manic, we are very destructive. Manic is somebody who has a lot of energy. So at manic, I can give myself as an example. At manic, I believe I own the world. I believe I cannot be told. I believe it is either my way or no way. And you see, the Bible says a woman has to be submissive.
Yeah.
So my husband is expecting me to be submissive. But unknowingly, he doesn't know, I don't know, that I am at manic. So when he tells me to do something, namjibu, sifanyi, we are equal in this house. So go serve yourself. I'm not washing your clothes. I'll wash mine, you wash yours. You see, that's what we call manic. And unfortunately, even for him, he used to drink and was a party person. So if today he comes to the house at 1 a.m., who is Jackie? She'll come the following day at 3 a.m. Yeah, I'll do it better than you. So definitely.
So it's like competition.
Yes, that marriage will not work. Yeah.
Wow.
So if it's very hard to live with someone who's having a mental condition and they don't know themselves. But if you know yourself and you know your limit and your partner knows you and they know your limit or what triggers you, you'll be able to work out that relationship so well.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's very productive. Someone who has a mental condition, they are very productive. Yeah.
Wow. Hold it right there. Wow. I told you, tonight the house is on fire. I am hosting one, Jackie Kagu, and she's a mental health advocate. She's sharing her story with us. Her marriage broke because of mental illness. If you've just joined us, karibu sana, and would love to know where you are watching us from, and also what is it? What do you understand by mental illness? When you hear the word mental illness, what comes to your mind? Do you know what it really means to have mental illness? Let's continue listening to this amazing story. Jackie.
Yes.
How do you deal with people who come your way and they want to tell you pretending? You're not sick, you're just pretending.
Yeah.
Or does this happen in your life?
It does. Actually, it does. I don't know. People have this notion that somebody with a mental condition should look a certain way.
Dirty,
running in the street or something. No, unfortunately, that's not Jackie. And I pray to God that does not happen to me.
You're very smart.
Yeah, thank you. Many people come to me and they tell me, I see you on TV, I see you on social media, you're saying you have this condition, and I don't believe you. Because they have put a face to mental health. And mental health, I will tell you, has no face. Mental health can choose anyone. I am glad that Mheshimiwa Shubesh came out. So that tells you mental health can get even a very powerful person. Donald Trump has bipolar disorder, and he was a president. And many other out there who are musicians, Mariah Carey, such people, they have bipolar and other mental condition. We have Kanye West, who said outwardly he has bipolar disorder. So bipolar does not choose. Mental health does not choose. Mental health is like cancer, is like typhoid, is like any other disease, it's like AIDS. It doesn't choose. So they come to me, they tell me they don't believe it. And sometimes I don't even know what to say. Sometimes I walk away. Sometimes I'll sit that person down and explain to them. I can tell them my story, or I can give them scenarios, or I can try to explain to them like I'm explaining to you that mental health, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll walk barefoot or today I'll wear torn clothes. It means that even you who is saying I don't have mental health can get it. Just take something small to trigger your mental health so that you're diagnosed with something. Yeah.
Okay. So what makes it to be different? Like, we know there are those people who walk naked, running in the streets.
Yes.
What makes it to be different with you? We can see you are very smart.
Yeah.
Unalala kwako, unaamka asubuhi, unaenda kazi. So what makes all this difference?
I'll say, personally, I believe my diagnosis was made at the right time. And that's very important. First and foremost is accepting yourself. Like when you know what you're blind, accept you're blind. You know what, you have bipolar disorder, Jacqueline. I accept it. I have it. I'll admit to you, it was very hard for me to admit that I have, to accept that I have bipolar disorder, to accept that I will walk out and tell my friends, what will they think of me, what will they say, how will I live with the community, but I had to accept myself. The Bible says, love yourself before loving others. So it doesn't tell you love yourself because you're normal, it tells you to love yourself regardless. So I had to love myself. So I choose to love myself and accept myself. And when you accept yourself, it is very important for family to accept you and support you. I thank God for my mom and my dad. They came all the way to Midiva and they are the ones who supported me through the journey. When you get support and you feel you're not alone, it becomes so easy. I also tell people that I thank God for my employer who ensured I was that rehab, and it's very expensive, and they paid for me each day for those 2.5 months. They paid for me for my stay there, for my well-being, and I felt not stigmatized, but loved and supported through the journey of healing. As much as it was hard for me, because personally I was told I cannot heal from it, I have to learn to live with it and manage it. As long as there was that support, I felt I'm not alone. Hii journey yenyewe nitaichapa, nitaweza, and it was very good for me. The third thing is that really helped me is my faith in God. I know people who suffer from mental conditions. Telling them about God, even me at that time, telling them about God is tricky. Alikuwa wapi nikifia tu. Alikuwa wapi nikihappen. Sasa nje natokelezea venye nimefia tu. See, but at that point I told myself, God, this is me. You said I'm created in your own image.
Yes. And
in your own image, uni expect mimi na image yako nitembee kwa streets bila nguo. So God, make a way. Make a way for me.
Wow.
Kindly make a way. We are not negotiating. You either make a way or you do away with me. But if this is something you have given me, you have said, of all the, actually I tell people, of all the people in our family, I come from a family we call the Gakahos family. You chose Jacqueline to have bipolar disorder. That means I can take it. I can manage it. Just lead me. Show me the way. And I decided to make it a ministry, to talk about it. Because maybe there are those that are out there, they are quiet. And silence when you have a mental condition can kill you because people tend to misunderstand you. But when you come out, we will understand you. Yeah, we will tell them hata kuja studio muone akifia. Leo ni mbaya. Yeah, we will understand you. So it's easier when you come out, accept yourself and get family support and fear God. Yeah, and above all, stick to your medication. And I'm telling you, it's hard. Bipolar medication is almost like cancer. It's a process like cancer because I have to go for an injection every month. I have to take 12 pills every day. And sometimes it's overwhelming. The side effects are there. There are those who add weight. There are those, not even there are those, all of us add weight. So you have to maintain your weight. You have to have, sometimes you go through self-esteem issues because maybe ulikuwa ka slim. Yeah, and then after 2 weeks, umekuwa mnono. And you know, there's Kenyans, but they don't have good words to tell you when umenona. So they're like, ni aje umeongeza kilo. They don't know you're going through issues. So you have to maintain your health, stick to your medication, go for your psychological therapies and maintain those therapies because when you have mental condition, it changes. It changes. Just like cancer, unaendanga chemo unaambiwa we will change this and this. Even for mental, it changes because your body can change because of a certain drug. So your doctor has to change the drug. Your moods, personally, my mood changes. Today you have found my good mood there. Sometimes I don't talk. And there are those days that I talk so rudely, you don't even want to cross my path.
I had prayed for you.
And so I have because I have come out. That's why I'm saying it's good to come out to people that are close to you.
Yeah.
Because I have come out, it's easier for me. Because even when I walk into the office, all those moods of mine, they have a face. So when I walk in the office, I have a friend, very good colleagues of mine. I have Susan, I have Irene, Mr. Wanjao, and Kina Janet. When I walk into the office, they look at each other and they tell each other, "Ai leo ni ile siku. Jackie usikanyange kidole." And my boss will ensure students are not coming my way. Like, Jacqueline, today we want to do the file section, do the filing, away from. But when I'm in a jovial mood, we're good to go.
You're the best person ever.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Leo nimetesa. I know, but why say?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like that. And people of mental health, I will tell you, they're sharp. And that one I can prove to you. Have you ever met a mad person in the street? you used to be with them when you are small, when you kadogo. But I tell you, even when you grow old and you meet that mad person, they will call you with their 3 names. They don't forget.
Wow.
They're very sharp. They know day-to-day activities. Uliza mwandawazimu huko kuhusu BBI, they will tell you. They have not read it, but they know they're very sharp. They're very sharp. And we are very good leaders. When we are put on medication and we are following the guidelines of the doctor, we make very good leaders. We are the best at our work. Just do your research. From here, go do your research. Most of these people who have invented things, the one who invented a watch had bipolar disorder. The one who invented a plane had bipolar disorder. Just taking that energy and using it the right way. People with bipolar disorder can stay 4 days without sleep. So, personally, what I do when I'm in that state, I write. I know you follow me.
Yes.
I write a lot. I write, I tell my story, I take my diary, I write. So, that's why I'm a writer.
Yes.
You see? And there are those when they can't find sleep. They are like, I can assemble things. I can bake a cake. You are very productive when you are at your manic. So, if you get to know you have a mental condition, know how you can use it positively other than negatively. Yeah.
As you wind up,
Yes.
I want you to speak to that couple out there. Maybe they have seen all the signs, but they have been saying, oh, mwanamke anajifanya sana. Speak to that man, speak to that woman.
To every couple out there, you have seen your spouse is going through a phase and they are behaving in a certain way. Please don't give up. Don't find it as arrogance or anything. Don't give up on them. Sit with them down. Tell them, you know what, honey? I am seeing this and this and this about you. And I know they are going to be rebellious. But because you love them, don't get tired. Seek a counselor's help. Seek spiritual help. And seek psychological help. I normally tell people, it's the work of God to heal, but it's the work of a doctor to treat. So don't take that, let me use a word, psycho wife or psycho husband, to a man of God to lay hands. I'm not saying it's bad for them to be laid hands on. The name of the evil spirit to come out. Take them to a psychologist, a counselor first, for them to be diagnosed, and when they are told they have a certain condition, they are given medication. Move them from the counselor or the psychologist and take them to a man of God and tell a man of God, my wife was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, or whatever. Kindly, let us pray for her healing. At least God knows they are healing bipolar or healing something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I've never had such a show. Very calm.
Very
calm. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Your parting shot, please.
My parting shot is that if you're out there, just like me, and you're suffering from a mental health condition, it does not define who you are. Actually, it emphasizes what you can do and who you are. Just find the good side of yourself and live your life normally and happy and positive. And God will reward you for that. God bless you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie, for coming. Thank you for finding time to come and be with us.
Yes.
And we are looking forward to having you again
Thank you
here
very
on this
much.
show.
Yes.
You must reach out to people out there.
Yeah.
So ukienda Karatina, carry our greetings and our love.
I will do so.
Sawa sawa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
What is your take home? For me, mental illness is just like any other disease. And so when you see signs, do not say, my wife is pretending, my husband is pretending. Take action. Go to the hospital and let her or him be treated. This is Couples Week Show, and this is where we write down our love will when we are alive, for we don't want our love story to be told when we are 6 feet under. And this can only be found on Wema TV, the voice of hope.